So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Edge Free Topical Webinar on postcards. My name is Sasha Latanzi, and I will be teaching today's class. So today's class is all about postcards, but it's not just about postcards. We're also going to be talking about, it's more of a direct mail kind of situation. We do have the postcards, which are large, oversized, glossy postcards that you can send out to your customers, but we also have folded envelope cards as well. So to get started, we're going to come up to our orange customer button up at the top of our Edge screen, and we're going to click on print marketing on the left-hand side. Now, this button here is going to have a button subtree underneath. So you're going to see we have order now. This is where we're going to come in to place manual orders. We can order at any time on the fly using order now. We have schedule, which is where you can actually have your Edge set up to automatically run the postcard program each week using the criteria that you pre-set up, and the system will launch every Thursday night, and it will send out a postcard order using your criteria. So you can have that manually set up for you. We'll talk about that a little more in just a little while. We have history, where you can go in and see the status of all of your orders. So if you are sending postcards out, and you come in to history, you'll see that the Edge will list off every time that you sent a postcard order out. It's going to let you know the card design that you used, any comments on it, when it was sent out, the status of the order, whether it was successful or not, how many cards were sent, and if there were any error messages. So if you're ever wondering if your cards went out successfully, you can always see that from the history tab. We have my account and website. So I'm going to start off by going to the website, but your my account section is where you're going to register for the postcard program if you are an Edge customer. So if you want to start using postcards, you're going to come into my account and you're going to complete the sign-in process. And we'll take a look at what that looks like in just a few moments. So the first place I'm going to take you is into the website. Now, the website takes us to the DriveRetailcom website. And this is a company that we have partnered up with. They do our postcard program, folded envelope cards. They do ladies' night packages, men's night packages, and there's a lot more they do too. They even have a print service where they can print banners for you, all kinds of marketing materials, etc. And they also have a section where you can go in and do some customer acquisition. So if you are not familiar with this website and you're looking to acquire new customers using this program, we actually have a webinar on that today at 2:30 p.m. I'll be teaching it, and I'll show you how you can actually go in and not only send out postcards to your existing customers, but how we can reach out and acquire new customers using Drive Retail as well. Now, when we come into their website, you're going to see there's a section here and it says register your store today. And underneath it, it says Edge software users, register your store in your Edge. So again, we're not going to register as Edge users on the Drive Retail website. We're going to do it through the Edge software. So I'm just going to come in and click the X, and you're going to see that we have our website here. For those of you who are looking at this, you may have seen that we are going to be doing a cross promotion with Drive Retail, Snap Retail, also Edge Retail Academy, and we're going to be helping a lot of our stores do a reopening promo after the coronavirus crisis. So if that's something you're interested in, if you take a look at your Edge news feed, you'll see that we have a whole article on it, as well as a website that, an email, that you can click, send an email over, and we'll get you further information. Now I'm going to come over to our product section here. When I hover over products, you'll see that we have a list of all the different types of cards that we can use as far as different holidays. And Drive Retail really has a card for just about everything. We have anniversary cards, birthday cards for men, birthday cards for women. We have Father's Day, Mother's Day cards, holidays, graduation cards, ladies' night, men's night, missing you cards, Super Bowl sales events, Valentine's Day cards, welcome to the neighborhood cards. So there's a card for just about everything. Now, a lot of you that are using the postcard program through the Edge are going to typically use these probably predominantly for birthdays and anniversaries. Okay, so we do a lot of marketing in the Edge to birthdays and anniversaries because they make it easy to see what your advertising budget's going to be. Every customer has a birthday. Many of your customers will have anniversaries. So it allows you to easily market to those customers and sort of give them a little bit of love for their birthday or anniversary while also getting them to come in the store and hopefully spend some money. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to come out to products. I'm actually going to come into birthday cards for women. We'll go take a look at what those look like. Now, when we get into postcards, you'll see up at the top here, it says postcards, jumbo postcards, and envelope folded cards. So we have 3 different types of cards here. Regular size postcards are going to be 5.5 by 8.5. So these are pretty large postcards. And you'll see that all of these are going to come with professional designs. There are no minimum print quantities. Okay, so people often ask me, hey, is there a fee for using the postcard program? The only fees that you pay are for the cards that you send, and that includes the stamps and postage. So typically for regular postcards, you're looking at usually about 89 cents to 99 cents a piece. When we get up to jumbo postcard sizes, they're going to go up to 99 cents and $1.09. And I think for envelope cards, it's $1.59 or $1.69. Okay. When we come in here, we see we also have jumbo postcards. These are going to be a bit bigger. They're 5.5 by 11. And we have envelope folded cards with a wafer seal. I'm going to jump into our jumbo size postcards. So these are going to be a little bit bigger. And as I scroll down, you'll be able to see all of the different card designs that I can choose from here. I could take a look at what they look like. And you might notice that on the front of the cards, that the customer's name is incorporated within the design. So this is one of my favorite parts of the postcard program. And I think perhaps it has to do with the fact that I grew up with sort of an unusual name. And I could never find my name in anything in the souvenir store as a kid. It's just never been a name that you can find anywhere written anywhere. So if I got a card with my name spelled out in diamonds, it's certainly going to get my attention. Okay, so when you're looking at your card designs, understand that anytime you send a postcard to a customer, the system's going to pull their first name from the database and it's going to incorporate it into the artwork of the card. Some of the cards do not have the personalization, but a lot of them do. And as you can see, we could scroll down. This one here actually pulls the customer's birth date from the system and says sort of September 18th rocks with a diamond. And you can see we have a bunch of different designs for you to choose from. If I go into regular size postcards and I scroll down, you'll see we have more cards to choose from here. And if I go into envelope folded cards, we have different cards here as well, and we can customize these the way that we want. So I'm actually going to come in and we're going to go back to our Edge program real quick. I'm going to go to customer and print marketing, and this time we're going to go to my account. Now, if you want to register for the postcard, it's very quick and easy. First thing you're going to notice is we have an Edge ID. Now, don't worry, this is going to fill in coming directly from your Edge license, so this should automatically populate for you, okay? Beneath that, you're going to see in red, it says, first of all, it says in black, this information will be printed on postcards. So anything beneath that, you're going to see on the postcards, it says, please type these fields exactly how they should print on the postcards. So please note that it's important that you spell check this. Maybe have somebody double check it for any typos or mistakes, because anything you put into these fields here in the middle is going to print on the cards. So you're going to have your store name here. You'll also see there's a section for slogan. So if you have a store slogan like your friendly neighborhood jeweler or your diamond source, you can put your slogan in there and it will print on the postcards. You're going to have your street address, your city, your state, your zip, your store phone number. You could put your website in there and also a location message. So you might say I'm on the corner of South and Elm next to Target. But you could put in a location message so they know exactly where your store is located. And the bottom section is going to be used to contact you for billing. So you're going to want to make sure that someone who checks their email is going to be put into this field here. What's going to happen is once you've filled all this in, Please note that it does say in red at the bottom, do not include your credit card number, because anything that you put into this field, if anyone has permission to go into the postcards, they'll be able to see it. So we don't want you to put your credit card information here. You'll be contacted separately to get that information. Once you've gone ahead and filled this out, I believe you're going to get an email from Tom Myers, who's head at the postcard program. You'll get an email sent over from Drive Retail requesting your credit card information and for billing, and also your store logo file, okay? Because you're going to be able to put your store logo file onto the cards themselves. Now, once we come in and we filled all this out, we provide our credit card information for billing, we provide our store logo, we get the thumbs up, we're ready to go. We can come in and we can go to Order Now. Now, Order Now allows us to come in and manually place an order for cards. So what I'm going to do is the first section says filter by group. And this means that I need to tell the Edge what type of cards I want it to pull up. So maybe I'm looking for female birthday cards or anniversary cards or birthday cards for men. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to come find the type of group of cards that I'm looking for. So I'm going to look for birthday women's jumbo postcards. So I'm actually going to do a jumbo card. I'm going to check the box for it, and I'm going to click OK. And the Edge is going to load up the designs for all my direct mail designs for birthday women jumbo cards. If you give me 1 second here, I'm just going to try to make a setting here. I'm going to go select that one more time. Okay. And then I'm going to select my direct mail design. So I'm going to pick which card I want. Now, if I've gone onto the website, I can see the pictures nice and big. I can jot down the ID of the card that I'm looking for. Otherwise, if I come in, I can see the IDs listed here. And if I click any of these, if I click any of the cards, you're going to notice that it's going to give me a little thumbnail picture down at the bottom here. And I can come in and I can actually click on the thumbnail if I want to make it bigger, and it'll load up the design of the card real nice and big on my screen. It's going to say, Sarah, time to celebrate. And I can see the back of the card as well. Now, I want to show you the back of the card because if you take a look, usually the postcards will have some writing on the back. You'll see that our store logo is in the middle. It's going to have our store phone number. It's going to have our location and our website. And all of our postcards, just about all of them, have a field that has an offer in it. So you can come in and put in some sort of offer for your customer. Maybe it's bring this card in for $100 off, or bring this card in and get $50 off a $200 purchase for Mother's Day. Things of that nature. You can come in and put in an offer. You can also put in a disclaimer as well. So you can kind of put in terms and conditions of that offer, or perhaps you can do what we usually recommend is please see store for details after the offer. That lets the store make any final judgment calls on the offer itself. Okay, so when I come in, I'm going to select my card I want to use. It's going to give me the ID, the name of the card, the size of the card, and if I scroll across, it will give you the cost of the card. So it's going to tell me that to send these out per pre-sorted first class, it's going to be $1.09. That includes the printing of the card, the stamping of the card, the mailing of the card. Okay, so it's going to give me everything is included in that. So $1.09 per card. Now keep in mind, I can send just one card out to my customers if I want to. I don't have any minimum set. I don't have any maximums. I could send a card out to every single customer that I have in the store if I want to. It's up to you. Next, it's going to say spouse or partner. Is this geared towards spouses or partners? No. Is it an anniversary card? I'm going to say no. Who is the target person? This is going to be set for birthday female. Now, you also may see when I have one down here that says NF. NF is a card that is geared towards a it's usually for him, to him regarding her. So it's the non-celebrant card for a female. So what we're going to do there is we're going to take a female who has a birthday who meets the criteria, but we would send the card not to her. We would send it to her spouse or partner, letting them know, hey, Angela's birthday's coming up. Why don't you come in and let us help you find the perfect gift. So that's what it means when you see NF. And usually those are going to be broken out like to her regarding him or to him regarding her. We're sending it to not the person who's celebrating the occasion, but their spouse or partner. So once I've chosen my card, I look across, you'll see here it's also got 2 promo fields, usually an offer and a disclaimer. Once I've picked the card I want, I'm going to click OK. And the Edge is going to ask me what the offer is. So I'm going to say, so I'm going to put in an offer here. I'm going to say $100 off any $500 purchase for the month of your birthday. And again, I'm going to say minimum purchase of $500. Please see store for details. Now, the reason we recommend using please see store for details is it's kind of an all-encompassing disclaimer. It kind of covers you no matter what. So, if there's any people try to get around your disclaimer, please see store for details allows you to kind of have final say on these. Now beneath that we have postage class, and if I click the drop down here, you're going to see that we have pre-sorted first class and we have pre-sort standard. Now, as I mentioned before, the regular size postcards are going to be 99 cents for pre-sort first. Pre-sort first is what we use for time-sensitive mail. Okay, because typically it takes 5 days or up to 5 days from the day that the cards are delivered to the post office. Okay, so it's usually what we use for time-sensitive mail. We also have pre-sorted standard. Pre-sorted standard is going to take a little bit longer. From the day that those cards reach the post office, pre-sort standard can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to arrive to our customer. So the way we normally set this up, we would usually for birthdays and anniversaries, we're going to aim for pre-sort first class. But if you're sending something out and you've got plenty of time to send it out and you're not really worried about, when it arrives so much, pre-sort standard is a less expensive way of doing it. Usually there's about a 10-cent difference between the different postage classes. Okay, so a regular size postcard would be 89 cents for pre-sort, 99 cents for first class. Jumbo postcards are going to be 99 cents for pre-sort and $1.09 for first class. Now, because I'm sending this out for birthdays, I am going to use first class. And if we look at the bottom, it's going to let you know the cards are mailed from Atlanta, Georgia. So you can kind of guess a ballpark of how long they're going to take. Usually if you're very close to Georgia, you may see those cards roll out in a day or two. If you are in California, it's probably going to take a little bit more time. It's going to let you know the estimated delivery nationally. So to get the cards from Georgia anywhere across the United States, it estimates about 5 days. It's going to give you the price for each card, and it's going to say whether it's recommended for time-sensitive mail or not. Once we've made our decision on postage class, we're going to come down and we're going to go to customer criteria. Now, when I come into customer criteria, this is where we're going to tell the Edge who we want to send the cards to. So I'm going to click the drop down, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to say who I want to send my birthday cards to. Now, the first thing I like to do is I like to come to results. Now, typically, once you have chosen your card design and your card type, the Edge is going to automatically fill in your results tab for you. So when I tell the Edge, hey, I want to send out a card for a birthday female celebrant, it's going to come in here and it's under birthday celebrant. It's going to automatically have female celebrant selected. If I'm sending it to him regarding her card, like we discussed, I will see female celebrant under the section celebrant, spouse, or partner checked. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to select female celebrant, and then I'm going to go up to my dates tab. My dates tab is going to let me put in when the birthday is. So I'm going to select birthday. Now, I've told the Edge that it's for the holiday of a birthday, and I have to fill in my date range. So I'm going to click my occasion all dates range. And when I do, typically we're going to use, now we can put in date ranges using the minimums and maximums here. So I could put in an actual week. If we come down to the buttons below, as you've probably heard in other trainings as well, the buttons on the left refer to the past, the buttons on the right refer to the future. Now, oftentimes I may have these set up, I may actually come in here and actually set them all up as a preset if I want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to select rolling weeks. Now I could come in here and just say next month as well. If I want to do rolling weeks, if you have someone who's coming in every week to do a postcard order, if you come into your Windows calendar here, so I'm going to click on my date and time in the lower right hand corner of my computer to pull Windows, and it's going to bring up my calendar and my time. The way that the timing of the postcard works, if I were to come in and say, you know what, I've got time today, I'm going to place my postcard order. I'm going to say that I want to send postcards out for people who have birthdays the first week in June. Okay, so if their birthday is May 31st through June 6th, I want to send them a birthday postcard to my ladies who have those birthdays. If I come in and I send out a card, if I made the order today, my cards will go out to the post office. So they will be printed, stamped, and sent to the post office. They will arrive by Friday the 15th. Okay, so if you place an order one week, it will go out to the post office the following Friday. Okay, that's key to remember. If I send them first class postage, they will arrive within 5 business days. Okay, so we're looking at arriving the end of the week of, if we're going from Sunday to Saturday, from May 17th that week. So they'll arrive sometime between the 17th and the 23rd, depending where the customer lives, okay, in relation to Georgia. That gives the customer, the cards will arrive there that week. So they're going to arrive there about, 2 weeks before the actual birthday. So maybe they'll come in before their birthday to try to treat themselves. Maybe they'll come in after, but they'll get the card in plenty of time before their birthday. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use a rolling week scenario. So I can come in here and I could say, I want cards for people with birthdays the week of the 31st. I'm going to count 4 weeks out. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the week of the 31st to the 6th. So if I put in 4 rolling weeks and I click OK, you'll see that the Edge is going to put in May 31st to June 6th. If I wanted the cards to get there a little closer to the birthday, instead of 4 weeks, I could use 3 weeks. But 4 weeks typically gives you plenty of time just in case there are any delays with the postal service. You're covered. So I've got mine set for 4 weeks. We also have ignore year and date. You're going to leave that checked. That simply means you don't really care what year the person was born. You're looking for anybody born during those month and dates. Now, if I came in here and I ran this list as is, I probably would get a lot of people. Okay, so I may decide that I want to whittle my list down a little bit, and we can do that by using other filters in the software. So I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to say, I want to make sure that I am sending cards out to people who have birthdays that week, but I want to make sure I'm sending them out to people who I know have been in the store and spent some money with me in the past, let's say 3 years. So I can come in and say, I want anybody who spent at least $200 with me, and I'm going to say in the past 3 years. So as long as they have been in the store and spent at least $200 with me in the past 3 years, I'm going to send them a birthday postcard. This makes sure that I don't end up sending cards out to hundreds and hundreds of people, some of which maybe haven't been in the store for a while. So I want to reach out to customers who I know have come in the store, they've spent money with me recently, and I have a very good chance of bringing them back in. And you can come in and play with these figures a little bit. If you find that you're getting too many people or too few people, you can come in here and adjust your numbers and your criteria at any time and make your list a little bit more of where your target is. Now, once I come in, you're going to see I have this little box here that says edit results before generating output. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to leave that checked. That lets me see who I have on my list. I'm going to click OK. And it's going to bring up women who meet my criteria. Now, this is interesting. I want to see why he popped up. Oh, okay. He's got the wrong gender there. That's why I have a male there. Okay. So when we come in here, it's going to bring up people that meet my criteria. Now, I work on a demo database. I only got 17 people that came up. When you get your list of customers up, you're going to want to take a quick scan. Now, my best practice recommendation for doing this is anytime you're doing anything in the Edge where it brings up these checkboxes here with a group of customers for you to look through and approve, I always recommend using this time real quick to do a quick scan of the information to see if any of these records need to be cleaned up a little bit. It's a lot easier to clean up your customer database when you have 17 customers on the screen than if you have 17,000 customers on the screen. So when I come in, I like to just do a quick scan of the street address, and I want to make sure that everything looks in line. I want to make sure that it looks like all the addresses are correct. I did see one person who had a name that looked very male to me, so I did go in and check to make sure the gender was correct. If you see anybody missing a zip code, you can double click on their line, just to highlight it, double click on it, or highlight it and click details. Either way, it's going to open up the customer record and you can go in and make any necessary adjustments. If you notice that there are green lines in your results, that some customers are highlighted green, what that means is that the customer does not have a gender on their customer record. So you want to make sure that you just take a look at that. If you see a green line there and somebody's missing a gender, if you know what gender they are, take the extra second to go in and fill it into the customer account record. I can't tell you, little things like that make a huge difference in keeping your customer records nice and clean. And making sure also that when you're doing marketing that is targeted to a specific gender, if you're doing a ladies' night, if you're doing a men's night, you can make sure that you're sending the appropriate cards to the appropriate person. For those of you who haven't noticed before, if you go into the customer record, up at the top underneath the customer ID, you will see a gender field there listed. And it only takes a second when you're adding in a customer to fill in the gender, but it will save you time in your end game. Okay. A lot of people now, if you've noticed, unisex names got very, very trendy. So you'll see a lot of people with names like Jordan and Riley, Sasha. There you go. I have a unisex name. And maybe that's why I'm a little bit more conscious of this, because I find that some companies who I've been doing business with for a long time will send me cards geared towards men. And it kind of makes me feel like, oh, okay, they're sending things out, but they don't really know who I am. Like, they don't really know anything about me. If they can't tell that I'm female and I look female and I speak very female, etc., then, you know, it makes me feel like I'm just one in a million. But if you're making sure that everything is nice and tight and clean, it does give the best foot forward presentation. So always good to get those filled out. If everybody's looking good, you can come up and click check all. And at that point, you can click OK, and your postcards order will be sent over to DriveRetail. Okay. Again, when you send your cards out, they will go out the following Friday. So if I came in this week, I believe their calendar goes, I'm trying to figure if it's Sunday to Monday. I'm having a brain toot here. But if the plan is, if you send your cards out like Thursdays or Fridays, your cards will go to the printer and then to the post office the following Friday. So whatever the following Friday is, that's when the cards will go to the post office. And then you can expect it's going to take anywhere from 5 days to 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the postage speed that you selected. Okay, and that will allow your cards to go out. Now, side note, there is a schedule section. You heard me mention that before. Schedule postcards are pretty simple. You can set it up yourself, but if you want some help with it, if you go in and let Tom Myers know, hey, I want to send out some, have my postcards scheduled, he will offer an appointment to you to go have somebody come in and set these up for you. Currently, that's going to be me. So I would make an arrangement with you. You'd fill out a quick form with the card style you want, the offer style you want, all the information you want on them. You send it over to Tom, he gets it to me, I'll make an appointment with you, and I'll arrange to log into your system remotely and we'll set it up, okay? And what this allows you to do is you can say, hey, I want to send these birthday postcards out. I want to send them out to any females who have a birthday 4 weeks from now. So we use the 4 rolling weeks. You pick your card design, you pick your offer, just like we did before. So we're doing almost the same thing that we did before. You'll see we have everything filled in. The only difference is when you set up scheduled postcards, there's a separate step that has to be done, which is that you need to go in and set up a Windows task, okay? And the Windows task will allow Windows to launch your Edge program. Typically, we do it about Thursday night at 11. That way, when you come in Friday, you have time to check that your order went through to the print house successfully. And if there's any changes that need to be made, you can get those changes adjusted quickly before the weekend. So usually about Thursday night at 11 p.m., your Windows will launch the Edge on your computer as long as your computer's on. It will launch Windows, will launch the Edge, and it will launch the postcard order that you have set up. And it will do it every single week for you. You don't even have to think about it. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? If you do, please raise your hand. Okay, that's all I have for you today on the postcards program itself. At 2:30, we will be having another webinar today. I will be teaching it. We're going to talk not only about how to send out postcards and reach out to your existing customers in the Edge, but we're also going to talk about how to use the program to acquire new customers and reach out to people like your new movers and things like that. So if you're interested, please let me know. You can register for that class anytime before 2:30. Hopefully I'll see you in there, and you can learn how to bring in some new customers. Thank you for joining me, everybody. That's all I have for today. Stay healthy, be well, and hopefully I'll see you in future classes. Take care, everyone.